Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2019, the Counter-Strike Major. And today has started off with a bang. We just saw Avangard upset FaZe. Upset in a way. They don't think so. They obviously believe they should have been higher up. But regardless, that was an impressive win. Now we move on to NiP versus HellRaisers, Vince.
Yeah, this is a match that I think on paper could actually be a really cool affair. The downside for HellRaisers, one of their best maps does too, is a map that NiP don't play.
Yeah.
So they're coming into this already, I think, map pool-wise, maybe a little bit behind, but I still believe in HellRaisers to cause the shock.
We saw HellRaisers yesterday on Dust 2,
Yep.
looking good. That was against ENCE, I believe, and they
Correct,
pretty much trucked them out in that first half especially. Yeah, a lot of danger on this HellRaisers team. We know Hobbit, obviously, what he can do. He's got a major trophy behind him. Woxic has been unreal. And then you look at the other young talent, Issa, also a very strong player as well. So NiP's going to have their work cut out for him. And I guess the question is, can all that HellRaisers potential, all those young ability, can it overcome Forest, who has just been an absolute revelation? You can check out the rosters here of these two teams. Forest and Get Right, no introduction needed. Same with Dennis, Rez and Lekro, more of the newcomers, but I don't think anyone's going to call them rookies at this point. They're pretty damn experienced. Angel, Deadfox, Woxic, Issa, and Hobbit to round out that HellRaisers roster.
Yeah, and I think another player that goes under the radar a little bit for HellRaisers is Angel. I've been a fan of this guy for quite some time. He is Mr. HellRaisers. He's been with this roster, this lineup for quite some time now. And he's the leader from the example. I think he's a guy that is definitely somebody that can be hugely influential, hugely impactful for HellRaisers, and somebody to definitely watch out for.
I think he's one of the better fragging game leaders we have in the scene. I think the funny thing about him as well is I think he's been a part of pretty much every single roster rumor that involves Na'Vi for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Everyone has been saying if there's going to be roster changes, just bring in Angel, just try it out. And he's another in-game leader, much like the Avangard side of things. He's a guy very hungry to prove his worth. I mean, he had that interview as well where he just said he hasn't left his mark on Counter-Strike history the way he's wanted to, and he hopes he has the time left to do it. And obviously this major, perhaps the best opportunity for that if HellRaisers can make a deep run and cause some more upsets.
I completely agree, and I think with Hobbit coming into the fray as well, it actually adds a lot more power to this team. Deadfox is another player that I think a lot of people, obviously there's memes around him and stuff, but I think he is a guy that is somewhat like the glue of HellRaisers. He does play the sort of positions that you typically wouldn't want to use, and he does a pretty damn good job in doing so. He's a guy also that's kind of flirted with different weapons. At one stage, he was the primary AWPer for HellRaisers before Woxic came along, so it's a team that I think is actually a lot stronger than people are giving credit for. I have them to go through to the top 8. Not many people did. Now,
I didn't.
They nearly whiffed it against ENCE. You said the first half was phenomenal for them, but then they moved to the CT side. They never got a hold of their economy. They were constantly in these forced by kind of awful situations, and don't take any away from ENCE. They played really well, but I think HellRaisers are going to have to be fully focused, fully concentrated against NiP, or they will get punished. NiP will beat them.
I mean, I did an interview with HellRaisers with Angel and Hobbit, and obviously we'll see that later on in the event, so I'm not going to give up too much, but a lot of the main talking points that those guys had about this team is that they're still, inexperienced together, and there's still some mistakes being made on an individual level in terms of decision making. So they know they have some things to work on. But they also have supreme confidence in the amount of talent and the amount of danger that they have as players and as a team in this tournament run that they're having right now. So this is going to be another test for them. We saw NiP on this. I believe it was this map they played Liquid on last night. As I said, I was kind of falling asleep through it. But a very close affair where NiP actually had some advantages down the stretch and kind of let that one slip away, but obviously proficient on Overpass.
Yeah, they are professional on Overpass. Their percentages aren't great, but then again, coming into the major, they hadn't played a great deal on the lead up to this. I think maybe it was Lisbon the last time we saw them together at a LAN. But either way, yeah, it was 16-13 that they lost to Liquid. Very late on in the evening. You've got to question if maybe some players were having mental fatigue. Those sorts of things come into play. But HellRaisers themselves are not bad on this map. I mentioned Angel earlier. He's very good when it comes to the T side on this. He's the kind of player that's going to be playing more of the lurk sort of role, but he can also come in with entries. So someone to watch out for. But in terms of how I feel this map is coming down, for me, it's almost a coin flip. This to me is so close.
I think one of my cool takeaways I had from HellRaisers, specifically from that Dust 2 game, is they have they seem to have a little bit of a mindset of some trickery that they threw into the mix. A lot of times when they were attacking that B bomb site on Dust 2, there'd be a Molotov in that hallway thrown by ENCE and thrown by their opponents, and they seemed to want to take advantage of that. They were willing to run through the Molotov in the last second that it was still up, just tank the damage and try and use that extra second from that early push to catch their opponents off guard. So they're willing to take some crazy risks. And obviously something like that is a pretty wild thing to do. You're really riding a fine line, but it worked out for him on Dust 2. I'm really interested to see if they bring any kind of trickery into this game.
It's kind of the same thing that cost FaZe the map at the end of the day. Vanguard were very unpredictable, and they pulled off some crazy plays.
Such a weird style, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to counteract. It's hard to predict. And the Ninjas in pajamas coming through into this matchup, you know, yes, they've got Forest. Is he going to be able to tee off? Rez has also been a player that's definitely stepped things up. Early stage of the challenge, he was actually the weakest player statistically, but then turned it all around, and now coming through into the Legends stage, he's one of their best players.
Which is good. I mean, if you're NiP, if you're any team in this Legend stage, you have to have pretty much. If it's not going to be like a well-rounded effort each and every game, you need every player to step up at some point. I think they've had that. Even GetRight's had some resurgent performances on some individual maps in there. Lecro's had some good games. Dennis has had some good performances. So I mean, this here at this point in the tournament, I think you have to lean on Forrest. He's been so consistent these past 2 weeks. It's been craziness.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but it really is true. I mean, whenever NiP have won games, whenever they've played confidently and well, it's really been Forrest at the helm. He's the player that's been making the plays, the player that's been there holding the sights and just doing everything for NiP. Then you've kind of had the support cast, some cameos from GetRight in particular has had a couple of huge maps. Rez, Lecro's even had moments, but again, we go back to that same issue we discussed the last time we casted the Swedes. Dennis has had a bit of an off time. He had an okay performance against Liquid yesterday, but apart from that, we haven't really seen what this guy is capable of. Yeah,
he still hasn't felt comfortable. I don't know if you got to look at it in the break between these maps as we have some time. I think some players are finishing up some last second setup. MIBR able to, actually I'm wrong. I'm entirely wrong. Looks like we're getting into the map. I was going to say MIBR was able to take down G2 16-12.
Yep.
So they've won that game. And there are 2 streams going still in the tournament. So if you're tuning in here, we love you. We love to have you. Stay tuned in. Also bring up on that second monitor the other stream, the main stream, ESL_CSGO, where Vitality is teeing off against Cloud9. But either way, here we're going to get into it. NiP taking on HellRaisers. These teams as well, 1-1, playing to move on and kind of tee off for some kind of a BO3 attempt at either avoiding elimination or moving on to the champion stage. So no one's going home in this matchup just yet. Those games come later.
They sure do, but now something else at the back of their minds, or the loser of this could potentially play FaZe, which, yeah, no thanks. Either way, HellRaisers on the T side have started things off with a bit of damage chipped across to Dennis. GetRight's going to find himself a couple players on long, pull himself back. And Dennis, in the meanwhile, has to be very careful. A stray bullet will claim his life. Rez up close, long. Has to really come out swinging here because he knows his position is compromised at any second. He does come out with the insta-headshot, spins around to Voxic, claims that too, is somehow still alive, and could even get a third. He does actually pick it up there onto Angel. What the hell is going on here? Rez is stepping up with 4 kills now. He's on for the ace, but Is is on the other side of the map. What a performance by Rez once again.
That's so sick. That play that he has set up with GetRight out towards long, it's so predicated on timing, and I thought they were going to miss it. I don't know if Hobbit actually saw that flashbang flying out, but he did turn away. Rez gets him anyways and just cleans up everyone else. A Herculean individual effort out of Rez. That's one way to start the game.
It sure is.
You got to be happy about that one.
In such a rough position as well, because of his teammates pulling back. I think it was GetRight that was on long. He pulls back, so he is stuck in bathroom all alone. The only way to survive is coming out and culling everybody. And he does just that with 3. And then a 4th to boot. Forrest gets the last one. And the Ninjas in Pajamas do move to a 1-0 lead. I believe we have a bit of a tech issue. Hopefully that's going to get cleaned up soon.
Dennis's mic stopped working. Or GetRight's mic, as it would appear. Dennis said it in chat though, so I stand vindicated. What do you think while we have this timeout, while we're waiting to get this game back underway? We only have the 1 round, so not too much to talk about. What do you think of that Vitality Cloud9 matchup?
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because Cloud9 have been... You know what Cloud9 reminds me of a little bit is Virtus Pro. I know there will be strange comparisons, but with VP, you never really knew what to expect until the end when they were just disappointment after disappointment. But Cloud9 have that same feeling to me that we've seen the complete opposite sides of the spectrum with them. And if they can perform to even a modicum of the degree that we know they're capable of, they could win that game. But then again, we could also have a stinker of a performance that we got the chance to cast yesterday, where they got banged out 16-0 against Astralis.
I had wiped that from my memory. I had chosen to delete the last hour of my memory
Jason,
when we finished that game.
You are welcome.
They actually, I mean, you got to take it with a little bit of humor, I guess. 16-0s, I mean, they rarely happen, and obviously you never want that to happen to you, but I think they're pretty easy to brush off.
Yeah.
And they had some fun with it. The Cloud9 Twitter account tweeting out that, you know, the speedrun challenge thing, that wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, we appreciated it too, because we actually finished the night at a reasonable time, and then we get off and it's like, oh, the other map is still in overtimes. Oh dear. oh dear, Alex and Jacob.
Yes.
You've been rinsed.
Enjoy that. And then Alex had to cast the ensuing game as well. So, he wanted the cast. He got his careful what you wish for, I think is the lesson there.
Plus, to be fair, they were against Astralis, the best team in the world, and...
It was a train. They started T-side.
Yeah.
Bit of a rough time.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, you've got to start the question, with the Org meta becoming more and more prevalent, does that just make Astralis even more OP now?
I know, it's going to be... I don't even want to know the answer to that question because I'm afraid of the answer. Either way, issues are fixed. We're back into the action here. 1-0 for NiP, a stellar 4-kill pistol round from Rez, all on his lonesome. NiP's going to get aggressive down the stairs behind this spam, a little bit of a boost up. Rez again in pretty solid position to have impact here. Well, the spam actually forces HellRaisers away from the underpass. 3-man aggression, essentially, with 2 players in that staircase. Get Right as well is at the early choke point to bathroom, so a pretty deadly crossfire. Rez with that boost can actually peek this way. Get Right will peek on contact. I think he's also heard a footstep. There's the first kill. There's the follow-up from Get Right. Rez able to get 2 and an assist. Dennis hasn't even been unleashed yet.
Yeah, he's biding his time, going to flash out for a peek with the MP9. Does have some backup in connector with Rez, who got the first 2 kills. HellRaisers not really in a position to do much from this. The bomb is in a really horrible spot out in the open. No grenades other than a smoke in the hands of Issa. And that can only really lock off one angle. They still have bathroom to try and contend with. Their Forest is laid in wait. Finds himself a stray Voxic, and Issa is going to follow suit. Ninjas continue their winning ways. I don't believe they've lost a single player in these opening 2 rounds either.
No, they haven't. No kills going the way of HellRaisers. Nicely done from NiP, limiting that damage to their economy. And that was a pretty solid investment. A lot of cash put into that round for HellRaisers, so they're going to be forced back on a Glocks. They can't really buy anything. Next round coming will be the AKs. But as you said, with no kills, no production, no cash, no assists even for HellRaisers. It's rough out here, Vince.
It is. There's no investment, no injection of cash for HellRaisers, so they're going to have to come out with Desert Eagles. Next round's not going to be great for them, unless they can pull off some headshots here. And then again, the Swede's going to take control over Connector. This time, Get Right joins Dennis, but Dennis is going to start to make a move away. Gets tagged in the backside. Dead Fox wishing he had anything but a Glock at that stage, and Dennis probably would have been a dead man. Dennis is going to come back in with a kill of his own, though, onto Get Right. They're at least making this a little bit more costly. And a second frag from Hobbit. Okay, now things are going to start to get a bit more interesting. Can he get a third? It's not looking good, just down to 16 health, but does land it onto Dennis, who peeks one too many times. This round is now starting to get into dangerous territory for the Ninjas. But Forest holds on. I thought for a second Hobbit had that.
Yeah, that shadow giving away the game a little bit. Hobbit would have seen that, could have pre-fired a little bit. But it's not to be. That's great damage, though. 3 kills on the board with those deagles that they invested, and that's not bad to bring out. So there's what you needed to get started for HellRaisers. AWP is going to come out in the hands of Dennis. AUG on Rez. The M4 is around it, but plenty of utility for NiP. But you can see just, I mean, when this comes back into it, the money that NiP has left to play with after this buy, these kills were costly in that 3rd round. 3-0 for the Swedes. Here's Dennis with some aggression. Not going to get up fast enough to take care of Hobbit, but ooh, a little bit of an off angle. There's a timing on how long he can stay up there, obviously, because he's not peering towards top step, so he's going to be exposed to danger when that smoke starts to fade. Good opening kill from Get Right. That's in towards the short sewers. He's brought down to 19, but mission accomplished.
Yeah, down to 19, but has a bunch of other players to watch his back over on B. There's 3 players over there at the moment. Gonna start to trace one over, maybe back onto the A side. No, actually gonna be looking for a boost. Some silence on the battlefield. HellRaisers isolated. Angel up on short. Now going back to connector. Meanwhile, the rest of HR are going to make a move up long. They have found Rez. And now it all falls to Dennis. He is the last line of defense on the A side of the map. They're going to have to get someone over on A very quickly, and it seems like it's going to be Forest to pick that up. But now that the Ninjas of Pajamas are somewhat split between the sites, HellRaisers have a decision to make. Do they want to go back down connector?
Seems like they might. The bomb is starting to rotate back towards the B bomb site, and Lecro has control right outside the door. All they have to do to defend A is just not die, and actually they're coming back. I think because the time is so low, 22 seconds left on the clock. Force, he might get baited into an information peak. That's brutal. He goes for it. He wanted to get a jump on a rotation back, but Dennis is still here. So is GetRight, who is extremely injured. And here we go. Nade gonna come in, not gonna eliminate him, but there's the shot from Woxic. A great round from him with 3 kills. He's moving in. The bomb is gonna get planted inside the smoke. There's a flank as well. So much attention on Dennis. He must survive for this flank to work.
Woxic and Dead Fox, though, both very healthy. A smoke and a flash between them. Smoke gets deployed. Dead Fox gonna be watching from the backside, but Woxic's been found by Dennis. Can Dead Fox pull this off? Hasn't done much in the game so far, and that's gonna continue to be the case. Lecro, final nail in the coffin, and the Ninjas in Pajamas claim a 4th round.
What an awkward place to find yourself in a 2-on-2. I'm not sure what they could have done to win that. I mean, you had to get aggressive somewhere, right? But Dennis with the AWP just holding an angle. A really well put together round from him. Important op kills. And you can see Woxic, patient with the AWP, is able to pick off Forrest and Rez, both peeking for information. GetRight was an entry, but that flank ended up sealing the deal, and a little bit of a one-way smoke for Lecro right at the end. Really nice work from NiP, but still a costly victory. And a plant is going to help HellRaisers by.
Yeah, with round loss bonus on top of it, Hobbit's going to have his feet burnt. Able to get up to the playground side. Be a bit of a gutting round for Woxic, though. He did so much work by himself with 3 picks. Dennis, oh, they nearly lined up for a 2-on-1. Would have been a rough state of affairs. Rand's going to get 1, able to pull back. Very similar start to how the last round started, with GetRight getting the first pick and very low. Able to dip away.
I think HellRaisers is yet to have an opening kill into this game. NiP's been able to find it. Last round it was GetRight in short sewers. Control of the stairwell goes to HellRaisers, but I think that's exactly what Dennis wants. Doors open. Op trained on it, sees the feet of the jump across from Woxic, and yeah, he just says, you know what, there's just too much danger possible to come from this direction, I'm just going to back away. Little bit of information, and HellRaisers, even though they have this control, which is important to have on Overpass, they don't have a whole lot else. 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, and 3 Molotovs. Plenty of nades to make a hit on this B bomb site deadly.
Only 1 smoke remaining for the Ninjas, and that's in the hands of Forrest, but he's going to get a clean peek here, Dennis. Molotovs, flashes behind it. Can Dennis get any kills? No, caught between 2 players. And now it's down to Lecro, but Dead Fox comes through with 2 despicable entry frags. Forrest, Rez, and GetRight remain, but Woxic finds him. Much better from HellRaisers. They're going to have enough time to get the plant down, and it's going to be a save from both Forrest and Rez. So HellRaisers, welcome to the scoreboard.
That was a super disjointed defense from NiP. HellRaisers able to have pretty much 3 individual fights. Dennis had no support when he goes for that peek with the op close up after he gives the angle. I believe GetRight, or Lecro, was next on the ramp, and GetRight wasn't able to help him out in any way. Immediate headshot, and just an easy walk-in for HellRaisers.
Well then, Rez. I mean, 4 of those 10 kills were from the pistol, but 187 ADR. Not a bad start at all.
No, you've got to love that, especially a player like Rez, who's so important to NiP's success, to have a hot start. This time, HellRaisers go away from him, and he can't get involved. B bomb site isn't held long enough for the rotation to have any impact. He's also very low from his opening kill, but nicely done from HellRaisers. I think Dennis could feel that hit coming, and he was just so worried that a player might be on the left side of the sewers. He didn't want to hold that angle for too long.
You could see him like almost having an argument with himself. Do I peek? Do I not peek? And he kind of got stuck in the middle of both. And the indecision got him killed at the end of the day. But HellRaisers, I mean, they had so many players pushing him anyway. It may not have been enough, regardless.
No, I think the real problem was they just got too close. Once they get through that sewer tunnel, it turns into a really tough battle. There's Forrest spamming away. Nice kill. Again, another opening frag goes the way of the Swedes.
Double stacking connector as well. This is going to be difficult for Issa to really pivot off anything. Not many grenades left for Help Ninja's Pajamas, though, so early on in the round. They got a couple smokes and a Molotov and a few flashbangs here and there.
Lecro's got the op this time. We've talked a number of times about how the op kind of gets passed around on NiP. Good kill from Get Right, immediate dink, and the cleanup. No ability for a trade, but taking control of Party, HellRaisers can at least control and peer deep down into it. Although for the moment, with this rotation, Rez is alone over at A. He's aggressive in bathrooms as he's been for the majority of this half. It's where he had his success on the pistol round. Get Right and Dennis retreat through the B bomb site and rotate back around towards A. Rez still alone and now hearing information, hearing footsteps. This is a big fight. Gets Hobbit, can't convert onto Issa, but he knows where the bomb is. 40 seconds on the clock.
Could be enough time to get onto the site with a couple of Molotovs, but it's more the 4-on-2 that's stacking against HellRaiser that's going to be the issue. Additionally, Get Right did previously get a kill in connector, and you can see that Voxic still isn't sure as to whether someone's pushing around the back of him, so this is eating even more valuable time. They have no idea what to expect from the ninjas. 18 seconds left. Now we're going to start to see some grenades implemented. They haven't used either of their Molotovs, though. This could be an issue. Starting to throw them now. Bank and truck are the two areas of choice, but the crossfire chops across. And HellRaisers will be dealt with. And so their one-round winning streak comes to an end.
Yeah, great round from NiP. Woxic and Issa actually could have chosen to save there. They both could have dropped an AK-47 and have another strong buy as the clock was winding down. It was a desperate situation. Now they're forced back to the pistols. Forced with that opening kill spam, and still, I think that NiP has 6 opening frags in this game.
I think you're spot on. I don't remember seeing HellRaisers get an opening pick a single time here.
So that's something they got to talk about in this timeout, is guys, we have to, and part of it comes, I mean, that one, the spam from Forrest is like unavoidable, right? That's going to happen once in a while. But some of those other opening kills, and even maybe the second death that HellRaisers is taking in those rounds, no ability to be traded. They're not putting 2 people at that contact point. So NiP is able to get kills and get away with a big advantage.
Yeah, the last 3 entries from memory, Forrest, before that was Rez with an AUG on short, and Get Right got the one before that, because 2 rounds in a row, they got an entry of like 19 health remaining. So HellRaisers in these rifle rounds really need to step things up, as you say, and then Get Right got a free frag in connector. There was no second player for the terrorists even close.
Well, here's a buy. Scout on Dead Fox, AK on Hobbit and Issa, and Hobbit, I believe, took some nade damage. This is more aggressive, though. You can see they don't want to wait around. Now they kind of want to get into their faces early on. They didn't like maybe the pressure of the clock in the previous round, so trying to find some information. Forrest just misses the opportunity to spam. They're going to hit this B bomb site. They're going to try and find a timing here, and you can see NiP can sense that coming, can sense that pressure, and using their Molotovs to slow it down. There's going to be 3 defenders. Rez is on his way as well.
They did wait too long on that Molotov, though. There could be a player behind barrels as far as they're concerned. Instead, it's Get Right, the back of the site that's trying to open up with his AK-47. Can the King of Spray strike again? Yes, he can, through the wall. Double spray down onto Angel and Issa, and the round is done in a heartbeat. Hobbit with a 1-on-4 to contend with, and he's perched up in a precarious position on sandbags. Bomb is in a horrible spot as well. Oh dear, HellRaisers.
That's a really cool fight from Get Right. He sees them crossing, he's taking damage, he doesn't want to commit to anything, and then he just spams through, able to find a double kill doing it. Also stays alive in water, a critical position. You can almost see him giggling about it, high-fiving his teammates. But yeah, so many bodies there for NiP. Get Right doesn't have to take a heads-up fight like that. So smart decision to just spam through, and 6-1, no plant. HellRaisers, that one hurts. Still stumped on their T side.
Yeah, credit to them. They tried to mix things up with a fast B execute, but even that was stalled. They threw a Molotov to the back of the site on barrels, didn't push straight after it. They were a bit labored in their approach through Monster. And then, yeah, Get Right comes in with a double spray, as we've seen so many times in the past. HellRaisers in trouble. Issa, the fact that he hasn't really done much in this game really does worry me, but Dennis with a triple, not able to get the quad spray. It is against the full-on eco, of course, so can't get too carried away, but NiP doing a solid job of holding on to what should be their 7th round, and indeed will be. I mean, Issa really needs to step it up here, Moses. He's got 1 kill, and he's one of their star players.
Yeah, I mean they've just had a really tough time all across the board. I mean, we want to go down that road. Everyone needs to step up. Woxic has 6, and then the next closest is Dead Fox and Hobbit with 2. So just not a whole lot of production coming out from HellRaisers in this game so far. Part of that stems from the fact that they're just really struggling at opening kills in this first half. You're not creating any opportunities or openings for your teammates to find a gap in the defense to exploit any kind of rotation. NiP haven't really had to feel too uncomfortable. Even in the round they lost, they had 3 players on defense at the B bomb site, and HellRaisers just hit some great headshots, but other than that, nothing to write home about for HellRaisers.
It's really the manner in which they've been bested that's going to be the biggest concern. Barely any of these rounds has been close. Forest and Get Right now going to start to make a move through short side just in the time to see Angel open the door. Smoke going to counteract the push. Allows Forest the opportunity to glance down Monster and finds Issa again. Another opening pick, and of course it goes the way the Swedes make it 2. This is looking so flat from HellRaisers.
That fight that Angel takes, I know what goes through your head when you do that. Because you always feel like that's going to be a play where like you do something crazy, where you catch him unawares, like spamming through the smoke, and then you always end up dying doing it, and then you just feel like an idiot. Oh, Forest and Get Right. A mid-round boost. Now coming out of Monster. Lekro spots both of them. Utility being drained. You can see they can't make any progress. Flames at their feet as well. They do find a kill and a follow-up, actually. Now this gets interesting. Get Right is the only man here for quite some time. 20 seconds left on the clock. I don't believe they have time to go back towards A. It would take too long to clear out position, so Get Right gonna hear so much information behind this smoke. Hasn't turned yet. Now he's exposed. He's got no idea, but he turns just at the right moment. Continues the spray. 3 kills for Get Right, but that was the best chance that HellRaisers has. I don't know how Get Right made that work. That's like the game saying, you've been amazing for so long, you've given the game so much, we're gonna give you a freebie here.
I mean, Dead Fox, how are you not getting that kill, man? He had his back to you, bro.
He probably doesn't even expect it. He's like, what the hell?
Straight up spray, well done by Get Right. But yeah, I mean, the last 10-15 seconds of that round pretty much summarize how this match has gone for HellRaisers so far.
Yeah, I don't know how Get Right didn't hear him necessarily running through the water, and then he also didn't have the timing of the smoke, so he gets away with one there, doesn't he? 10-3 for Get Right, 14-3 for Rez.
Can't argue with those stats. Rez has been quite the beast. Forrest has also chipped in with some highly impactful kills. He's on 9. And HellRaisers back into pistols.
Rez has won 4 opening duels. Get Right and Forrest have each won 2, and Dennis has won 1. No one from HellRaisers has that. Make that 2 for Dennis.
Get Right is going to be able to pad those stats nicely with another triple bomb. Gets dropped down. Issa on a Tech 9 at range. Good luck. The Swedes claim a 9th round. This is looking like one of their most convincing, comfortable performances of the major thus far.
They have grown into this event in a big way. Remember, this is a team that was fighting to avoid elimination in the previous stage as well. They had a tough battle to even get here to Legends, and they've looked much better. I mean, Forrest has carried them through stretches and really bought some of the other younger players time to kind of step up in their own way. But if they're all gonna deliver like this, if you're gonna have Get Right having this kind of a performance, Rez having this kind of a performance, they haven't even needed Force yet in this game. All of a sudden, this NiP team could be a pretty tough opponent in series play.
You know, I didn't back the Ninjas at all.
Oh dear.
I'm beginning to believe now. I didn't put them on my pick'ems.
The favorites are having a really tough time at this event so far. There's the all-gone Lekro, gets great massive damage onto Hobbit, and Forrest is lying in wait. We said they hadn't needed him yet, now they do. They're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get that performance, so finally a little bit of life out of HellRaisers. Dennis still alive, and actually Rez on the flank. If he's able to get a freebie, there's smoke and Monster, now it clears. low HP on these HellRaisers players. There's an opportunity for NiP, and it starts with that one.
Oh, and a second. HellRaisers had this round in the palm of their hands, and now Hobbit with 4 health. And has got to try and clutch this single-handedly. Grenade shoots over it. Does get the first headshot. Is this doable? Perhaps it is. Able to dart away. Rez isn't exactly healthy. If he's going to be on the bomb, Hobbit, no, you need to peek. And Rez is going to get it once again. REZ for NiP. Oh dear.
Well, you can't even fault Hobbit for that one, right? That's the fault of 2 players dying at Monster with that long-range duel before the retake comes in. Hobbit with 4 HP. I mean, you're always going to assume with 4 health that he's going to fake the defuse, right? And you just have to kind of see if he has the balls to stick it. Fair play.
Well, HellRaisers, one of the perks, I guess, of being battered is you have high round loss bonus. They're going to have another buy coming in. I'm really trying to look at the positives here, Moses.
You're really reaching for him.
I got to 1.
Give me a second one.
And
what have you got?
No, I don't have anything.
Clean out. I'll say the second one is when they're able to kind of position themselves and take Monster. They've had some success. They've been forced back a couple times, but otherwise, you know, that's the first round they won was through Monster. That second time, that probably should have been a round win. They hit some great shots. They seem to be very comfortable taking those fights when they swing out along that back wall through Monster, but that flank from Rez really destroyed them. Flashbang comes out, Dennis has been spotted, and Rez has been eliminated, and so is Dennis.
Much better teamwork. Pop flash into peak. HellRaisers now can make a move on to A. But here is Forest. The form this man is on right now, you would not put this against him. They're going to peek him 1 by 1, and that will be to their demise. Now the other veteran is here in the form of Get Right. Forest still standing. His teammate dies alongside him. Forest with a re-peek, going to go down, but Lecro has now made a move through Bank. HellRaisers in a 3-on-5 could let another round slip. Voxic needs to try and clutch with the AK-47, and Lecro will not allow them to add to their tally. NiP moved to a convincing 11-1 lead.
Jesus, Forrest is such a monster. He's not even having the highest score on his team. He's 3rd on the ranking, but him coming over, finding 1 kill and delaying the smoke and flashbang combo that allows Get Right to get there, that allows Lecro to get in position. What a job he's done. NiP firing on all cylinders. The communication seems there. Players delivering on an individual level as well. And really nice aggression. That's the first round that HellRaisers had the opening pick, and they still can't convert it.
So 2 rounds in a row that HellRaisers had, and it has slipped away. Could have changed the dynamic of this half considerably. Instead, it's looking like this could even be a 14-1 half. There is an AWP and an AK at their disposal. Few smokes sprinkled in for good measure, but long presence established. Dennis is there alongside Rez. And if Hobbit walks out, it could be into a massacre.
Oh dear.
Dennis playing anti-flash, but doesn't actually get pushed from Hobbit.
I don't think Hobbit saw him either. So Dennis is going to love this flank. Going to start wrapping around another opening fight. Forrest is going to be under pressure again, this time with an AK-47, but Angel over towards Sandbags can't win that. Forrest needs one more, not going to happen. Dennis has cleared out towards the A bomb site. It's a 3-on-3 situation. Again, this favors HellRaisers with the bomb now planted. And up as well, and Woxic over towards Sandbags. He can use the distance. Now he knows one is coming in this direction. A tough retake for NiP.
Could this be the 3rd round in a row that the Ninjas bounce back? Dennis, headshot delivered to Voxic. Rez has been caught in the cross. It all comes down to Dennis. Another 1-on-1. He gets tagged early on, but Deadfox only has a deagle, and he is going to connect with the second shot. HellRaisers double up. It's about time.
Yeah, tough to deal with that shoulder peek from the deagle. You can be so mobile with it and get a shot off before even a response comes in. 11-2, but even that was close. 2 kills on Angel, 3 kills on Issa, 4 on Hobbit. Go to the other side, it's 17 on Rez, 15 on Get Right, and 12 on Forest. I don't know if HellRaisers has done enough, Vince. Even if they get these last two, even if they get to 4-11 for the second half, it's still going to be very, very difficult comeback.
Yeah, I suppose one thing that you could maybe highlight statistically is that NiP have got a lot of the opening picks. It's going to be harder to make that a reality on their T side. But yeah, I think there's too far a task of HellRaisers. It's a bridge too far. Angel, though, going to try and close the gap. He's had a rough day. 35 ADR, 2 for 12, or 13, I believe his score was. Boost up. Going to hear those boots landing on the ground. Lecro makes a move. Forrest does get tagged as he pulls back, but not going to yield a kill. Oh, that grenade, though.
NiP is fortunate to get out of that without taking a death, with that little of damage onto Forrest. Oh, get right, you dirty, dirty man.
Oh, and it's the bomb as well.
Just spanking Woxic.
Well, the round is going to be a whole bunch harder off that basis, because they're going to have to go back and retrieve the bomb. This is so much time that gets cut.
The real hard part is you can't really clear that out if you're HellRaisers, because you don't know if GetRight's sticking around. Now Rez, great angle with the AWP. They can convert onto a low HP Angel, but the AWP has the angle. There's the peek. There's the frag from Lecro, and HellRaisers getting stopped cold all the way back at the playground. Dennis now with the other AUG is going to chime in, and HellRaisers, I mean, there's one of your silver linings, Vince. He at least throws the AWP away, so NiP would have to spend some of their plentiful cash
in the last round, where it doesn't matter anymore. And HellRaisers have, oh, $1,500 an Angel. Brilliant. I'll stick with 2K.
This is a battering.
Yeah, there's not much you can say about this, really, is there? NiP have just been in fine form.
We used all of our fill topics during the 16-0 last night.
Yeah.
It's really unfair to give us this one as well. We did not prepare for this.
Guess you could say, though, that the Ninjas have arrived at this stage. Sure, HellRaisers haven't looked particularly good, but take nothing away from this performance from...
Oh, Dennis is getting some bad information. I don't know if they heard him. I think they did. They now definitely know Hobbit can turn around. Dennis is in so much trouble from so many different angles. We can see it on the X-ray. He can't find Dead Fox. Tough situation. I have to imagine someone told him to come to the B bomb site or something like that. Even Rez has no idea he's up long, so HellRaisers might have just taken the shackles off. You know, everyone do whatever you want, and they have no idea that this is clear. They think someone is still in playground. Oh dear.
55 seconds left. I'm just going to move past that one, get right in the meanwhile with 2, and Dead Fox will silence him.
They're seeing ninjas everywhere.
They are hallucinating. A loss-fueled hallucination. Rez in the meanwhile onto Hobbit.
Not the good kind.
Dead Fox will be hoping he can hallucinate a few more players on his team, because right now he's all alone. Or a few more rounds for HellRaisers, that would be nice too. 25 seconds, at least has the bomb. No control over connector though, of course, and Lecro has taken this opportunity to stamp some of his own authority on there. Time is low anyway, so he has to go for the A site, and that's going to be into the arms of Rez alongside Forrest. And the chance of pulling this off, absolute zero, as Forrest smashes down the half, 13-2 to the Swedes. That's an unreal performance.
That's a statement from the Ninjas. Nicely done. Rez leading the way. Get right not far behind, but it's a team effort out of NiP, and they got a massive lead going into the second half. We'll see how fast they can close it out when we return.
Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on, never look down, never fade out, never fade out.
And we're back at IEM Katowice. Halftime is over for NiP versus HellRaisers, and HellRaisers have quite the hell that they're living in at the moment. 2-13. That could have been a little bit smoother on my part, but yeah, this is some kind of a situation for HellRaisers. Down 11 rounds on their going into their CT side. Should be the easier side, but I mean, as you mentioned, you tried to list positives for HellRaisers in that first half. You got to 1. There's not a whole lot of things they can hang their hat on to make a comeback happen. It's got to obviously start here in the pistol.
Yeah, that is pretty much it. This is the last lifeline they're going to have. Maybe they can build something back up again. Again, a lot of the rounds did come off the back of NiP entry frags on the CT side, which is a weird thing to say, but they were playing so aggressively. Maybe if HellRaisers can return the favor, things get interesting, but it's going to be an uphill climb. It has to start right here, right now. 4-player stack on B, with Hobbit making a move back on the A side, and Ninja's pretty much just setting up into an anti-eco almost, just waiting to see if the HellRaisers make any moves at them.
Yeah, I'm actually, the first thought I had when I saw this really passive, really defensive setup from NiP to open the pistol is, I'm wondering if this half was like maybe like 10-5 or like 9-6, if they would have run the same pistol round. I think because they're in such a big lead that they're thinking HellRaisers might start getting a little bit crazy and trying to do some unexpected stuff, so they're just trying to see if there's going to be any kind of wild aggression from the defensive side. Hasn't come, so they've let a lot of time get eaten off the clock. 48 seconds. 3 players working up long. Gonna take a detour in towards bathrooms just to clear things out at the front. Get right in Lekro. There's the spot from Woxic. No adjustment towards the B bomb site. 30 seconds left on the clock now. Here comes the utility. Here comes the fast push.
Flash is going to keep Hobbit at bay, but yeah, I mean, there's only 25 seconds left. Voxic's able to get the first, and a second with the P2000. Is he going to be able to connect the dots for a third? Yes, he is, and a fourth. Voxic's on for the ace. Can't get it done, but the damage is there. Excellent round by HellRaisers in the end. Well, I say HellRaisers, Voxic, take a bow.
He deserved the ace on that one. Holy hell. Great performance, and to make a comeback like this happen, the only thing you can think about is one round at a time, and at least the first round has gone in their favor.
Some sublime P2000 work will get the second pistol round going the way of the CTs. 4 MP9s. Interesting pickup. So no UMPs. Really playing to get as much money built on this half as possible. And getting some connector control in amongst it. But NiP looking for a similar setup to how the last 30 seconds went on the A side. Grenade going to be tossed in, could do a bit of damage, but not really anything significant. Just 5 in total to Rez.
Rez has the bomb, but I don't, which is kind of curious that he's all alone in the entrance of bathrooms. So no matter how impactful, no matter how much of an advantage NiP get with this kind of a play, they have no chance.
It's kind of awkward now. They're all starting the bomb. Like
now they have to fight all the way back.
It's like, wait a second. Why is the bomb in the bathroom?
Maybe a small miscue from the ninjas, but I don't think they expected to be able to get into this bomb site so free. Dead Fox jumping around. He's now got 13 kills, 13 deaths. Angel still keeping up the attitude. A powerful high five. Issa, no stranger to solid high fives himself. One of the better high fivers we have in the professional Counter-Strike scene.
We're really digging in for positives at the moment for HellRaisers.
I'm just saying, this is the kind of next level information that I bring to the table.
Well, it was a good round. Rez just clearly kill hungry. He's like, if I can't get any, none of you can, so I'll drop the bomb in this horrible spot, double agent mode. 22 kills, and we're only in round 18. In terms of firepower, you'd have to say it actually favors NiP. They've got full AKs. There's still 3 MP9s in play for HellRaisers.
Yeah, a bit risky. Well, here come the flashes. Dead Fox looks into the wall. Forrest can't convert. There's one. Oh my god, a team kill comes out. Dead Fox adds on top of it. And fair play. Now HellRaisers can really close the gap in this score because the extra bonus money from the SMGs, on top of if they can upgrade Hobbit and Angel onto AK-47s, that would be so massive.
Yeah, if they can close this kill out pretty comfortably in the end, this would be almost a perfect start to the second half, but get right, he's going to make it a little bit more costly. At this stage, HellRaisers need to respect him.
I like this play from Get Right as well. He's got low HP. It's still, you know, still a massive advantage in this round in the 2-on-1 for HellRaisers, but the fact that he's going to the other side of the map, he's got plenty of time, that's going to cause HellRaisers to make a decision. So he can either get a plant here, or if they split up, just by some fortunate timing. In this kind of a scenario, a lot of it comes down to luck of where you're looking, depending on how you're positioned. So Woxic either has to play it very, very passively and safe and maybe allow a plant, or if Get Right gets into this site, you never know who's looking which way at which time.
"15 seconds coming up. Get Right's going to have to just go for the full-on plant. It's going to be safe to get the plant going, so NiP will have some funds into the next round, but you can understand why he's ran off. He knows that he's in a really horrible spot in terms of his health, can't really engage.
Yeah, he took the risk and just said, you know, maybe they're both stacked at the B bomb site. I'll be able to get into a better position, maybe find one more kill. Not to be, but the plant's going to help out in a big way. That extra kill that he gets limits the amount of money that can grow. 3 players having to rebuy. They don't get to upgrade a lot of those SMGs, so the bonus money's nice, but you don't get that massive leap ahead.
May have also thought someone was coming up connector, try and rotate round long through bathrooms, and the bomb was planted for bathrooms, of course, so kind of see the cogs turning in the head, but HellRaisers stalling the diffusers for a couple of seconds, do pick up a second AK-47. Those are in the hands of Angel and Issa. And the ninjas into pistols. That Molotov's not quite deep enough to actually bother Get Right, so that's a bit of damage that they are going to be neutralized on. Still Deagles in play here, Moses. It's actually still a dangerous round for HellRaisers.
Yeah, very dangerous, especially Get Right with the scout. If he can just tag one, maybe get a fortunate headshot. He's having a great game. 20 and 10, 108 ADR. Forrest buys a Deagle with no armor. I'm wondering if that is kind of foreshadowing that the AWP will come out in the next round. Lecro looking for a desperate headshot, a jump for information from HellRaisers to punish. Get Right still has a minute to be patient. There's the peek, and I think he was spotted. Angel's going to call it out. Goes for a double peek. No tag on the side of Get Right. And actually, that's actually pretty cool. Angel got very close, very aggressive, and a flashbang comes out, almost catches Get Right, and now he knows how close he is exactly and wants to fall back. That might actually call NiP back out towards long. They say, there's an AK up close. We have a chance to actually get a kill. They're offering us up one, but now he's backed away. So smart decision-making from Angel.
Plus Voxic was watching Angel's back, so it would have been quite the trap being sprung. Voxic now in the meanwhile going to toss down the Molotov towards Banana. Going to keep the tease in. Bathroom does miss out on that shot though. Pressure being applied, the flashbang spot on. Angel, too many players to watch out for. Isn't it plucked out from Get Right? This round is still up for debate. There's only 10 seconds left, though. They're going to have to get a move onto the bomb site, and it is getting planted. Rez is going to have this down. And now Issa in a 1-on-3. A round that should never have been this close could be going the way of the ninjas. And the heartbreak continues for HellRaisers. 12 bullets left. Dennis doesn't even need to move. All of the initiative is now on the hands of Issa. He has to be the one to make it.
I almost feel like he has to go for this as well. You have to know that there's some battered players, and Dennis, you essentially might as well take your hands off the keyboard at this point. He's delayed long enough. No more utility. One flashbang, and Issa's going to give it up. He wants to back away. He knows they need it. He knows they're hurting on cash flow. What a round from NiP. 4 kills on Rez, Dennis, Lecro, and Get Right. They each get 1. That final flashbang that comes through the smoke at long was so effective. Angel with the AK-47, it took him so long to get that first kill. And obviously Woxic with the smoke as well. Took a long time to find Get Right. Great work from NiP. And remember, we talked about this yesterday. We talked about it in a previous NiP match we've casted. I believe it was yesterday. They've been so good at this event of winning those like half buys, those force buys, those weird scenarios. They've won a couple with all Glocks. It's so strange, it's so uncanny how they're able to do it.
Yeah, I think that was the match we were casting. They were playing NRG on Nuke. They just kept winning these weird rounds with like CZs and a couple 5-7s on CT side, a couple Desert Eagles. HellRaisers calling another timeout. They do have enough funds to afford a full buy, but this is it. This is sink or swim. If they lose this round, there's such a huge chasm of match points for NiP that they're gonna have to make this count.
Yeah, they have to keep themselves. They have to keep NiP off 15 for a long, long time. They need to close the gap a little bit more before NiP starts getting to playing match points. Woxic had a rough start to this game, as did the majority of HellRaisers. For the longest time, I think it was just Woxic in the beginning, and then it was Dead Fox who's actually come alive. 15 and 15 now for him, but just not enough. Not enough and not deep enough down the roster. Get Right leading the way towards Sandbags, gonna clear things out quickly, so good map control for NiP. There's not really a whole lot that HellRaisers can fight with. 2 SMGs, they do have that AWP on Woxic. Back towards the A bomb site, and Angel again pushed up towards long.
Oh, far off landing the up shot there, Forest, and Dead Fox gets chunked by a grenade just beforehand. Using the MP9 up close on Monster. Look at all the map control that the ninjas are getting. Banana is theirs, and Voxic's been found by Rez. That's the AWP down.
They're not in any kind of position to really press the issue, though, towards A. Bomb is still at B, and there's still 2 defenders here. Dead Fox close up. There's the pre-fire, not going to work out. Issa doubles him up. Bomb is down in Monster. He can stay alive, but his teammate, his support structure has collapsed. One more kill, but he's spammed. And it's again all down to Angel. 1-on-2 for him, and he's coming from the flank.
Oh, just narrowly away. Sees the play, gives his position away. The grenade could do a bit of damage, actually doesn't, and wouldn't really have mattered anyway. Both players on 100% of their HP. Smoke onto sight. This could be it. This could be the beginning of the end for HellRaisers, and Lekro pops up, lands his 3rd kill of the round. 10 match points to the ninjas, and it's looking very good for them moving on to the 2-1 matchup. Best of 3.
This has been a great performance from NiP. Start to finish, they've been phenomenal. Looking to close this out as well off the back of a half-buy win. Not wanting to mess around with this game, not wanting to mess around with HellRaisers coming back into this. 10 opportunities for NiP to close this out, and this might be the best one they get. There's not going to be a great buy for HellRaisers. Famas on Issa at the moment, some upgraded pistols coming out. Going to be light on utility, light on firepower, and we'll see what they can do. I imagine we'll see another similar to what we saw in the pistol round from NiP, where they play it pretty passive to start with, just making sure there's no craziness, they don't get caught off guard by some weird nade stack and push behind it.
In doing so, HellRaisers may be able to get some connector control though, as NiP completely gave that up. When you have pistols, not really that many other options available to you, but they are going to have a quick look up on the balloon side before they dart back. Long control, bathrooms seem to be where HellRaisers want to reside. What a shot by Dennis. Carving off the head of Angel. It gets a whole lot harder at this stage. Issa may get the drop on him, but there's a pop flash in, and Dennis finds a second. A much better performance from the man in this game. And that could be it. HellRaisers only have 3 players left, and it was all built around this idea of aggression through bathroom. That's going to be completely nullified.
So much confidence from Dennis in that round, taking those fights aggressively. That flashbang was perfect. Obviously, you have some false confidence built up. Maybe not false confidence, but you have some confidence built up when you're up 15-5. Play a lot looser. Woxic looking for anything. But NiP, they know they just have so many advantages. Hit the pause button, just don't get punished by anything. Now they can slowly work their way up towards that A bomb site as a unit.
It's hard to see the win conditions right now for HellRaisers here in round 21. Should be the last round of the map. Maybe Voxic and his scout can be the determining factor.
I guess they're hoping he can get some early information with the scope and peering down long ranges, because they rotated 2 towards the B bomb site, but... Well, what can you say? NiP gonna be winning this one 16-5, as Hobbit is dropped as well. And Impressed with NiP, Vince?
Very much so, yeah. I don't think HellRaisers really showed up to this game, but I don't want to take anything away from Ninja Pajamas. This has been a phenomenal performance. And they're really making a statement. The Overpass is a solid one for them as well. They've narrowly lost to Liquid yesterday, and they've just blitzed past HellRaisers.
That's great performances from Rez and GetRight, topping this charts. Rez 23-8, GetRight 22-12. That's great to see where it's been forced for a lot of this tournament, leading the way. Some other people stepping up in a dominant win over HellRaisers that people have some pretty good expectations of and have shown some pretty good elements of danger on that team, but today looked a little flat. NiP putting them in the ground, 16-5. NiP moves on to 2-1. They'll be playing a series to qualify for the champion stage.
Yep.
And then HellRaisers has got to fight to avoid elimination in the future.
Against some very, very big names. You've got Ents big. Well, we're going to cast the best of 3, I believe, to see which of these 2 teams will survive later today.
Cool.
So either way, you got FaZe down there. Oh, God. Oh, wow.
It's not a fun pool to be in. NRG as well might join that one. So tough times for HellRaisers are ahead. That was a rough performance. Either way, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we are going to get the BO3s going. We'll start figuring out who's eliminated, who's moving on, all the fun stuff. Stay with us.